Good good morning. I received a phone call this morning. Individual asked me to spearhead a forum on gang violence and violence in the inner city here locally, and I told him I would call him back once I prayed about it, and weighed spiritually, mentally, and emotionally if I had the strength to address or to even talk about this gang violence and all this murder and killing and the young men who are being slaughtered and slaughtering each other. Look like me. Look like my son. Hey Teray, I love you. Proud of you, U.S. Navy. And to be involved so deeply in teaching the young African American male or American African, violent as he may be, lost and destroyed, thrown away, blown away, crack babies, heroin addicted babies. They're now teenagers and young men filled with anger, no direction, locked in a inner city, an environment that is non-conducive to his growth. Survival of the meanest and not survival of the fittest, survival of the most demonic. So the person asked me would I be willing to speak at a local event. Of course nobody's going to be there but women and children and a few old people and some dignitaries, some hot dogs and hamburgers, maybe some popcorn. But those who need to be spoken to and addressed won't be there. I mean, it'll be some young people there, but they won't fit a master demographic that we're trying to reach. Love under the hat, I'm still wearing it. So if I decide to speak, I think I'm gonna deal with the stop sign. I'm gonna see if I can get an old stop sign from one of the local community parks and recreation divisions, and use it as a prop. And I'm going to explain this stop sign just thoroughly and as best I can after much prayer and fasting and waiting on God to use me as a willing and submissive vessel. The stop sign is so deep, y'all. The white border is the crime scene. You know, when someone has been killed or murdered or found deceased, in a lot of instances they outline the body in chalk. That means someone died here today, right here. So they take the body on to the morgue and the coroner. And then the red in the stop sign is the blood. How you know we sing that song, I know it was the blood, I know it was the blood. Blood is the essence of life. The life thereof is in the blood. Leviticus 17:11. The stop sign is so prophetic, it's outliving our children. The average age of a stop sign, I researched it, is 30 to 55 years of age. The average age of a young black male dying in the streets by a stop sign or relatively close to a stop sign is 17 to 21, sometimes 17 to 24. But the stop sign is outliving our children, our young black males, our American males, our African American males. But we have to put a stop to this stoppage and the cessation of life within our young black boys, our young American Africans, our young African Americans, our coloreds, our Neros, our Negros, our Negroid. I mean, whatever you want to call us, we call ourselves worse things than anybody can call us. And then we have the audacity and nerve to be angry at somebody else calling us a name. And it's sad, you know, because the stop sign is outliving our children, and we have so much to say about everything else that's killing our young boys and just being killed. But yes, if I choose to speak, I'm going to use the stop sign as a theme and as a rites of passage, because our young boys, our young men are not dying by railroad crossing signs. They're not dying by pedestrian crossing signs, duck crossing signs. They're dying. They're stopping. The stop sign is outliving our children. The stop sign is outliving our kings and princes too. And princesses. We are purposely allowing our children to die, I believe, because the teaching has stopped at home. That's a whole nother video. I've never seen a little truck riding around with brand new stop signs in the back of it and men jumping out of trucks putting the stop signs in the ground. But I've seen so many hearses filled with young African-American boys, young African-American young men, young American African boys, young American African young men in hearses headed to graveyards, and mama is still going to be making payments on the casket years later. The stop sign would be my theme. The white border is the crime scene. The void of death. This person died here. The stop sign means you stop lying, you stop living, you stop giving, you stop relying on God, you stop respecting your mom and dad, you stop respecting authority, you stop going to school, you stop learning, you stop eating, you stop having a proper diet, you stop having education, you stop moving, you stop going forward. Stop sign. And we know the red is the blood. The absence of blood is death, and not enough blood is death. Stop sign. God bless. One. Peace. Get off the corner.